Welcome to another episode of Pink Cooking. I'm Marlon White, and today we're going to talk about cheat meals and how not to let them ruin your progress. So I know this from personal experience, because in the past, one cheat meal will turn into one cheat day, that will turn into one cheat weekend, and before I know it, I've gone completely off track. So now after losing 34 kilograms, I've learned how to include cheat days without regaining weight. So before I get into how to manage cheat meals, I want to be very clear about something. So in my opinion, cheat meals are for those people who have already reached their goal and now looking to maintain. So if you're still trying to lose weight, I'm sorry, but this video is not for you yet. You still have work to do. And that's from my experience. Because when you're still in the fat loss phase, you haven't fully built the discipline and control needed to manage a cheat meal properly. It will be like stepping into a boxing ring after a few weeks of training. You're not ready yet. So a real life example of this is that years ago, somebody reached out to me for me to help them with their diet. So everything was going well. They were losing weight, staying consistent and making great progress. Then one day they told me that they're planning to have a KFC cheat meal. I tried my hardest to talk them out of it, but unfortunately they were determined. So unfortunately that was the last time they contacted me about their diet. I guess we can all guess what happened. That one cheat meal turned into several cheat meals, which completely took them off track and undid their progress, and now they completely fell off the wagon. What I'm saying here is cheat meals require discipline, and discipline is built after consistency, not before. So why did cheat meals go wrong? The problem is not with the cheat meals themselves, it's how people approach them. Most people think, I've been strict all week, I deserve this. And this turns into them eating everything in sight, setting no limits and having no structure. And that's where they go wrong, because an uncontrolled cheat day can wipe out a whole week's worth of progress. So from my experience, this is exactly what used to happen to me in the past. I would follow my diet strictly, and then I'll go and have one cheat day. But instead of that being controlled, I'll completely spiral. Especially for me, once I break my routine, it's hard for me to get back on track, which is part of the reasons why I regained weight in the past. So what do I do now? I don't remove cheat days completely, but I have control over them. The first thing I do when I decide to have a cheat meal is I set clear boundaries. I always set a timeline for how long a cheat meal goes on for. Is it for one meal or is it for one entire day? Both can work, but deciding ahead of time and sticking to it is key. Because one full day of eating can easily turn into thousands of extra calories. A single meal is much easier to control and can even fit into your calorie maintenance. The next thing I do is I avoid food that makes me spiral, which is a big one for me. Some foods make it easy for you to lose control. Like for me, I have a sweet tooth. Sugar can cause me to overeat. So a real life example of me avoiding trigger foods while having a cheat meal is that it was my wife's birthday recently and they were serving burgers, chips, alcohol and cake. I allowed myself to have a cheat meal, but I set clear boundaries. I avoided the cake and alcohol because I knew the cake would trigger my sweet tooth and the alcohol would cause me to make unwise food decisions later on. So this allowed me to enjoy the moment and not lose control. So now I avoid trigger foods completely or try to limit them, because it's not just about calories, it's about controlling your behavior. The next thing I do is I keep my routine. So if my cheat meal happens to be on a gym day, I still go to the gym. Keeping your routine, like going to the gym, is important because that's going to encourage you to go back to healthy eating because you like the way your body feels when you eat healthy. So the next thing I do is I plan my cheat meals around events. So instead of having a random cheat meal, I plan them around special occasions. So if you know you've been invited to a birthday party where there's going to be unhealthy foods, why not decide to have your cheat meal on that day so you can take part in the event and socialize and not feel restricted? Planning your cheat meals this way makes it a lot easier to manage. So the next thing I do is I keep my protein high. Even on a cheat day, I focus on hitting my protein targets. Protein will help you feel full, stop you from overeating, and help you with your muscle growth. So even if other parts of your meals are not perfect that day, keeping your protein high will keep everything under control. So the biggest change I made is with my mindset. I stopped seeing cheat meals as a reward. I now see it as part of a balanced lifestyle. Because if a diet is too strict, you're more likely to break it. But if it's flexible, you're able to do it long term. So cheat meals are not the problem, a lack of control is. If you set clear boundaries, stay consistent and get back quickly, you can enjoy cheat meals without it undoing your progress. But once you learn how to control it, everything becomes much easier. So if you want to follow my journey as I maintain my weight after losing 34 kilograms, please like and subscribe to this video.